Alright, we're on the ship, on the boat. Got a little safe in a closet, some cabinets.
You go ahead first.
Here's got a little desk type setup, bottled water. Here's our bed. There. Here's out the window. We'll look more of this when we get going, but windows are for the ceiling. Actually, do they open? Oh. And actually, it opens. Here's where we're tied up to right now. It's a little chilly out there. Alright. Susie's in the bathroom. Knocking on the door or knocking?
No.
Oh, it could have been on the wall.
Yeah.
Isn't she next door to us?
Yeah.
I got a sink. Mirror and everything. Toilet. Walk-in shower. Alright, like on a cruise ship. Could be interesting being this low to the water, though. This is the length of the ship. I'll show you more when we get to the next port. There's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. You know, a room's only maybe 5 foot above the water. Alright, we're moving. We don't know what the heck that is. Well, you know, that could be one of those wind things. It could be. Generate electricity. Alright, we're back of the ship is spinning us into this cove. Got a lot of these low ships that we imagine to get underneath the bridge. Alright, we're leaving Zurich, heading toward Germany.
Hello there.
I found a passenger.
It's me.
Surprise meeting you here.
Who'd you find?
This is what it looks like down our hallway. And actually, on the ship, this is the area. And actually, that's down to the second deck quarters. The hallway, and there's Susie, and here's the desk, and this is the main lobby. And this is the lounge we are going into. Here's the lounge.
Oh, that was probably a Viking or a Viking.
Right.
Yeah, I'd rather be the white. Thank you.
All right. Everybody was sitting down for dinner.
Hi. All right. Hello. And what is your name?
Hi.
Hi.
And Ben.
Hi there. And your name?
And Betty.
Hi, Lynn and Betty. It's nice to meet you all. Ohio. And where are you from?
That is Beverly.
I know.
Mediterranean Sea. And here to the left-hand side, you can see that on this canal you have 26 spots for houseboats. People live in these boats. They have all the modern comfort, and it's not because they live on the water that they don't pay taxes. 15,000 persons in 360 different companies. So it's a large industrial area between the city and the Rhine. So the location of Strasbourg, I don't know if some of you took a map from the reception left now. So we are going to sail on this Marne-Rhine Canal. And to the left-hand side, you can see a building totally made of concrete. Well, they take a little bit of time to build it because it's only built with donations. You know, in France, the French government is not allowed to provide money to build places of prayer. So no money to build churches, no money to build mosques and synagogues. And this will be the new Russian Orthodox Church. Can you see in the very back there, you have, to the left, you have a little golden dome in the back there. Huh? So it will have a Byzantine Second German Empire from 1870 more. So the relationships between the council and the diplomats of these countries are very tense at the moment, yes. And you know, all the countries have signed the European Convention of Human Rights. If the countries don't respect the European Convention of Human Rights, the citizens who feel a victim of the non-respect can take the country to court through the European Court of Human Rights. And the third European capital is Luxembourg, seat of the Secretary and of the Court of Justice. Very beautiful. They had at that time, 130 or 140 years ago, all the modern comfort, which means sewage, public lights at night outside. It was safe to go outside. And you will see lots of houses like this in the town. And further ahead on the left-hand side again, after the green house, you can see a yellow house. This time all the beams are carved. It is built around a courtyard, and it dates back to 1600. And if you want now to see the French elegance of the middle of the 18th century, you know, the architecture that was inspired by Versailles, so classical style, you have to have a look. You have a building that has the shape of a horseshoe, and again, typical roof of Strasbourg, but no cellar, too damp. This is the Museum of History today, but at the time, in the middle of the 16th century, it was the butchery, the slaughterhouse. There was a platform coming above the river, and the animals were slaughtered above the river so that all the blood and everything. La Petite France. And you can see that the water here is getting nervous because we are coming close to a waterfall. We are lower here than ahead of us. The difference is 6 feet, 2 meters. The lock is ruled by your lockkeeper, and it will take about between 5 to 7 minutes to be raised. Okay, never. Yeah. The urine is strong, there is ammonia, it softens the skins, and the skins had to be fermented in there between 2 to 3 months under the heat. And here in the summertime it's 38 Celsius, 110 Fahrenheit, very warm. Then they had to take the skins away from there, beat them into the water, and then suspend them into the roofs. Imagine the fragrances, yes, from your car at the bottom of your apartment. They cannot dig underground parking garage in this old part of the town, and with all the water is here, it's not possible. And but families live here, people are back, and also students rent rooms here, and tourism of course has replaced all the traditional activities. Today you have restaurants, you have pubs, you have antique shops and hotels. And if you have a quick look on your right, after this pink house, to my right, after the wall, look at the beautiful orange house which is behind the wall. Can you imagine that this is a hotel? To the right, the orange house. It's a hotel. 5 bedrooms only, yeah? And do you know what the name of the hotel is? The C-H-U-T. A silent place. Silent. And they have a fabulous restaurant. Very.
We have the Christmas market in Strasbourg. It starts on 25 November. For 1 month we have a Christmas market in December, and the beginning of the Christmas market is 25 November. So in 3 weeks, imagine, and we need a month approximately to prepare the Christmas market. Monsieur, non, s'il vous plaît. Non,
Here's the Cathedral of Notre Dame. Yay!
There's a man. You can see a man here over the door. This man sitting. It is a Samson. No, not Samson. It's Solomon. On my side, you have some steps. This lion. The lion.
You don't suspect it.
Yeah. Here's the five candles I lit for the kids in the Cathedral Notre Dame. Come on, Dad, take it. Oh. These beggars don't know what the heck they are, what nationality. Here's the side view of Church of Notre Dame. Definitely an ornate church. And to show you, here's my Susie. Here's the square outside the church, full of people.
You want to get some chestnuts?
Huh? Here's bison. The family of the sycamore trees. There's all the buses lined up. Look at some Notre and more tour buses. We got swans. There's a whole bunch of swans and ducks. Alright. I got all my swans out here. They like bread. Must be a tour on one of those, on the skegways over there. Alright. This is a ship. I'm in the back. That's the front of it all the way down. I got it all set up with chairs up here. sun. It's actually a nice sunny day out. See the old swans again. Swans that I was feeding before. This is about halfway down the deck. Or the length of the ship, let's put it that way. Let me keep going. There's a setup they got where we dock. They just got a stationary buoy or whatever. And then they got a gangplank they lift off the ship. And then that's permanent there. That big one's permanent there. There's a bus is waiting to take people on the tour. Walking up to the front. This is the where they steer everything from. And they got it set up so they can slide up and down. You can move it up and down. Right now it's at looks like its highest point. It's raised up around 3 foot. This is the setup they got so the wires are move when they raise it up and down. Now what it is the bridges, when the water level changes, it goes up with the rains and all of that. At times they can't make it under the bridges so much. So what they can do is lower the pilot house down. They can lower it another 3 foot down to make it underneath the bridges if they have to. Got a hot tub up here, but it's not real hot. Maybe 100 degrees or so. Alright. Go up. Oh. There's the front of the ship. This is sort of the front boom with the radar on it. And looks like hydraulically they can raise it up and down. But somebody had a boo-boo here. They must have hit something with it while it was up, not realizing it was up too high. But that's so they can raise it up and down the radar. There's some guys at the next ship, I guess, think they're going to go wash the windows or something. Small little dinghy on it. 9.9 on it. There's the bell. You ring the bell. The Rhine's pretty clear water. I don't know if we can pick that out through the rocks down the bottom. Oh, here comes the winos. Hey, winos. They're going to the winery. Try this again. We got it set up for trick or treat for Halloween. With the pumpkins and a witch, bats on the wall. And even look at a pumpkin inside a pumpkin. That's different. I'm going down to my room. Very last one on the right. All the way down. It's Tuesday, and where are we? In Germany.
Well, we're in Mannheim right now, and we're going to be going to Heidelberg.
We're going to Heidelberg. All right. This place is for sale for $7 million.
got the best bit. He got stuck in the hole.
Other people say that the answer to the President's Island.
This is Heidelberg. Actually, it wasn't bombed during the Second World War, so... Alright, this is part of the castle that's left. We're going to see other parts, but there's not much of it left. Yeah, look at how deep this thing is. This is the castle we're at Heidelberg. Here's more. The ruins. That is house. This is the inside of the ruins. All this is still here after all this time.
The Prince
was built in 1500.
He was very famous, very important, because we have the other group coming, please. So.
Now this is 10,000 gallons. This is a wine barrel with 35,000 gallons.
Len drinking, yeah. Len looking for some wine.
Big wine barrel. There's Susie taking pictures of the city. Got another view.
She was the sister of Charles.
Mountains behind around us. Live up on the hillside.
They're all either married, James. Yeah.
So we just want more information about how tall you see here in front. They were all built in the 19th century.
Most of the cities we were in, it's all these stone roads. I don't know if we call them cobblestone, but old brick roads. Still in good shape.
Quantity of powder was necessary to blow it up, because the French undermined the castle in order to blow it up. They could
Scarcer from down below.
have conquered the and Mr. Bellini
Anna Oller's house in Heidelberg, 1592.
So he earned a lot of money, and so he could afford to buy a house completely out of stone. And that's the reason why the house...
I know how you're doing it. Ta-da! We're out at a roadside stand. Beverly's drinking beer. Betty's drinking whiskey.
All gone.
And Susie drinking hot chocolate.
Was drinking.
Chocolate.
Which Leonard stole.
And plants still alive. This is our boat at night.
I know, I think we should pay attention.
Hi, this is one of the boats on the Rhine. Looks like it's fuel. We're going to the Guggenheim Museum. This is where the Guggenheim invented the printing press. So I guess we're going to go see one of the first printing presses. Hi, this is a voyage journey for today. This building has these bars on the window. That's to deflect the sun from shining in. They call it the prison. This was a part of an 800-year-old wall. This is part of it. It's 800 years old. These white lines, they put, actually they're little bumps. These are for the blind. The blind can follow it from City Hall to the Cathedral. So this is sort of like a curb line or whatever for the blind. These are apartments, 800 square foot, $500,000.
So here in our city we are able to offer virtual Mary guided tours. We have more than 100 in front of houses, and all of them are looking different. Oh, that's a beautiful, gorgeous, very nice one. So little Jesus has a grape in his hand, and that means he's representing our wine area. So in town we have golden ones, white ones, colorful ones.
There's 100 of these statues throughout the city.
And they are going back to the 19th century. In those days you had a thinking, a virtual.
This is one of the vines. Watch, I'll show you what happens. Vine goes all the way up, and then it goes in taller, spreads out to all of that.
Oh, but there was a time that people couldn't read it, so you had to bring up signs to make yourself understandable. And
Is that intrills?
Pardon me?
Is that intrills? You know, the intrills. The intestines.
Yes. The church. In 2009 we celebrated 1,000 years of the church.
This was built in 2009.
1,000 years, yes. And this is something I wrote from New York. Everything is covered with angels. You see angels everywhere. That's typical for Renaissance. Angels are typical for Renaissance. They are carried so that they could move slip to the sides, and then you just slide it. I just want to wait a moment. Okay? And then you just slide it complete setting page over by hand to the printing press here. Just sliding it over the complete setting page to the press here. You see, setting, everything was done by hand. Now, of course, we come to the most important part of the printing. Before we print, two general informations. So first of all, I told you during my tour that you are here in the largest wine area of Germany. So Gutenberg, he took a wine press to create this printing press out of. So this original was a wine press. And now I would like to tell you what kind of color he used. Well, inside his print shop, he had wooden heating ovens to keep the metal liquid. And I think you know what's the leftover of a wooden heating oven. It's ash and a black soot or charcoal. So you can... Okay. So he got that chocolate for free, yes. And so he took this chocolate, make it smooth with oil, and this chocolate oil combination he gave on these two stamps, and he rubbed the stamps at each other and he covered his page with this chocolate oil combination, and therefore he could only print black to white. He didn't know how to print in color yet, black to white. And before we print, I just want to explain this here, the outside. I think you know what this is. It's leather, animal skin. Animal skin and our skin, we are all the same. We all have pores. If Gutenberg would have taken regular animal skin, this chocolate oil combination would have gone through the pores to the inside and would have made the inside filthy and sticky in a short time. So he looked around in town, watched the animals, and hoped to find one kind without pores somewhere. And he was lucky. There's one animal we know without pores on his back. And that kind of leather he used here. That's my question to you.
Pig?
Is it pig?
Pig?
I think you're right. A dog, yes.
A dog?
What's the dog doing? Yeah. His leg is poreless. And you can imagine, time of Johannes Gutenberg, the city was clean, no wild dogs in the streets. Here they are. I know it sounds pretty weird, but for him, 600 years ago, it was a great help. Yes, it was a great help. Now we want to print, but a little bit different than Johannes Gutenberg. Because just for demonstration, I will also use red and blue. I want to point it to you in a moment. I have one prepared page. It's like a puzzle here. And I have to get it apart to color it. You see, I have blue blocks here. And I have red ones. And, well, I told you that Gutenberg could only print black to white. But in a moment, when we will see the original Gutenberg Bible, you will see color too. But this color was added later on by hand. And now, of course, we want to do a full color print here. So I'm going to use the black, of course. And as you have modern colors, modern helpers, this is something Gutenberg could only dream of. So I use the black and the red.
When he figured out red, what was it made of?
No, he couldn't.
Oh, he never did.
He couldn't. No, he could only print black to white. And later on, I told you that the color later on was added by hand by illuminators, and they created their colors most time by rubbed stones. Colored stones. They use colored stones. They rubbed them to little pieces, and then they connected the little pieces with egg white. Egg white. Water wouldn't connect. So they used egg white to connect the little colored stones here. So now I will arrange it backwards again here. And the next thing I need now is a sheet of paper. And this is exactly how Gutenberg worked. And he placed the sheet of paper into this lid. And he called the lid a mirror. Because we will print now mirror winded. And now I will close the mirror. And now, well, printing is hard work. So my question is, who wants to print or who wants to give me a help? Good, so we can do it together.
My husband will be so proud.
Oh yes, I think so too. Please come to this side. Now we have to push this forward till this line should be here.
Okay?
The line should be here. Whoa. Perfect. Now please come to my side, and now please start first to print it out. Tear as hard as you can. You cannot destroy the press.
Yeah.
That's it here. So I think I will give final quite. Yes, that's it. Now we have to open it all the way back again. Okay, now we get this back again here. If you do this all day long, you don't need a gym or workout here.
Yes.
Now please come to my side. And now we'll find out. Mrs. Gutenberg. You did a perfect job.
Yay!
Please present this here to the group. I think they're very interesting here. What you just printed? Now, could you please come up here because they want to take a picture too. And of course, that's the original page belonging to the Gutenberg Bible upstairs, the one we will see now in a moment. The language is Latin. Except the few as we use our program, the Passion. So after the Catholic Church and Right now, our city, we have 1/3 Catholics, 1/3 Lutherans, and 1/3 rest of religions. But it depends where you are in Germany. Because if you're in the north of Germany, if you're close to Hamburg, the north of Germany, coming down the road, that was the aspect to the architect to rebuild the front as the original paintings. So the green one, the beautiful colored yellow one, and the one on the top. All the three belong to the modern looking building coming down the road. So all these things are just
Statue of Drummer. Some of the architect. Big fountain of some kind. Who designed the windows?
Marc Chagall.
Marc Chagall.
Yes.
Before he died.
They're just absolutely gorgeous.
Originally they asked him to do the 3 windows up in front. And then he ended up doing a total of 8 windows, right? Yeah, and then the 9th one was designed by somebody else. Marc Chagall. There's a close at the front, designed by Marc Chagall. Huh? There's the organ in this thing. Yay. They're leaving me behind. I had to stop and tie my shoe. There's the 3 weary travelers. Heading back to our boat for lunch.
Oh, yeah, that's because they had paper thousands of years old.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rita, and I want to welcome you to 1930. We start here with our Weber Maestro that was built back in 1927. It was constructed as a concert orchestra for jazz and for dance music. And the company Weber, they set great store by the sound quality of this instrument. It should sound like a real live orchestra, and it can play up to 15 different instruments. And the information it gets from the holes in the perforated paper roll. They just had one little problem in those days, their sound. This instrument here can only play loud. But it is dance music from the 20s, and you're welcome to dance. That was Doris Day and her choir. Traditional way in our workshop. It's made out of 3. This orchestra here plays with a very old system with a thin wooden barrow. The barrow is placed behind here. It's 1 meter and 80 long and is presented by about 23,000 small pins for the toes. It's very hard today to find people who are still able to produce these pinned wooden barrows. That's why we have to take extra care of this instrument. But after that, when you have seen the dolls dancing, I'll show you how to produce such a pin wooden barrel.
Memories. We're not doing it either, but we might eat in town.
Yeah.
You want to dance, Betty? Susan, you want to dance?
No, thank you. He's asking you to dance.
We heated it a little bit before pouring the brandy over the sugar. And then it did burn. So the whole thing is a wonderful blend of sugar, brandy, coffee, whipped cream and chocolate. Now when you get the cup, you prefer to hold it.
그래도 이게 편하게 많이 있는데.
There's a post office box. This is a Christmas star. You know it's bigger. There's a bigger one in Tampa.
It's closed. Oh no, it's open. There it is.
There's a little trolley train they used to take us into town. City train. Look at the tires on that thing. It's almost like a tractor in that thing. Aye. Sun's going down. It's about the girls that stayed in town, they're going to eat at a restaurant. There you go. I'll come here. I'm tired.
But in the 1800s they repaired it, they renovated it, and at the moment it belongs to a German poet, singer, writer, and he gives it a multi-purpose. It's partly a museum, but also you will have classical concerts in there. There is a direct boat line going from Rudesheim, where we have been docked overnight, till the docking position below here, and you see the zigzagging path going all the way up to the entrance of the castle. So there's no road going up, but just a zigzagging path going up. So it's only for the fit to be able to get there. Once again, it is inhabited at the moment, and nearly all the castles in there.
There's the vineyards on the side of the hill. Train just went by.
Someone's taking a shower on the second
A bunch of campers down here. And up above the campers is another castle.
Cars, ladies and gentlemen. Here on your left hand side, blending in with the background also, this was actually property of the bishops of Aachen. Aachen is still about 2 days walking from here, if you fast. So the bishops didn't come very often here. They put a few kind of landlords here to look after the place. But the landlords actually, they secretly expanded the castle, but they were using it as actually as a place from where they could have some illegal business going on. They became robber bandits. They were looting and robbing the area. Passers by with their cargo, they looted. They were terrorizing the neighborhood. So they lived in the castle. Well, this became known. So on a certain stage, Rudolf of Habsburg, the emperor, came with his army and he crushed those robber bandits and he hanged them on hooks on the castle walls. Okay, yes, that's what they did in the Middle Ages in those days.
It's for our cousin when it was like $300 a day. She has to collect them. Yeah.
Maybe like a coal?
Yeah,
transport coal.
A kind of a clay soil which is excellent for repairing and building dikes in the Netherlands. So basically the war depths have been paid off by the natural resources from this mountain. Now in the meantime the war depths have been paid off, but now it's a Dutch company still exploiting the material from this hill. Okay? That's why the quarry is here. The castle, ladies and gentlemen, has been property also from a monastery in Aachen, Cornelimünster. That one was also far away, so they put some landlords over here. They were on their own, they were collecting toll duties where they were not entitled to, so they were actually illegally collecting money, and it was an army force of the emperor also who put an end to the practice over here. And just like on the other castle, also they hang on hooks the proprietors of the walls.
So, lovely ladies out on a nice sunny roof. So with the wind howling at us.
Civilization, according to them. Was also the name of the landlords who were in possession of the castle when it was built. Stalek Castle is towering out above the village of Bacharach. And Bacharach is one of those very pretty villages, half-timbered houses, wrought iron signs of the bakery, the butcher, the locksmith, etc. A little bit like Rudesheim, but it is small. And Bacharach still has a nearly intact city wall going around it. Because in those days, ladies and gentlemen, those villages, they needed a wall around their place, and they needed a guard at the gate, and at night the gate was locked. Because we romanticize very often the medieval times. But the medieval times, ladies and gentlemen, that was a really tough time. That was a time that nothing was really secure and life was very harsh. A lot of famine also, and also there was a lot of robber bandits and there was a lot of insecurity. So people did not travel during the night. During the day they only traveled in groups. Okay? And the wall around the place at night was closed. castle coming up later on. It has never been destroyed in history, so it's really authentic where you're looking at the moment. Standing in full glory, it's turned into
That is the last castle I'm going to do for a while. Village down below.
En kijk even naar het ook. Kun je uit je eigen tijd maar zo pak je dat ook nog.
This is the first time we're getting off this top deck. We're higher up out of the water. These are the pieces of the Berlin Wall that they brought as a memorial.
So we have two rivers here, the Rhine River and the Moselle River. So we have trouble with high water usually every year. In springtime.
1993, high water mark.
In 95. The water level comes up and it is on top of the... We love to fool the people.
There's a Catholic church. You know there's a cross and a rooster on top.
Where roosters are only on top of the It is the goddess of hygiene and the patroness of pharmacies. And yeah, maybe the ladies agree with me, the shop down floors is still a pharmacy to me. Whenever I have headaches, they are rebuilt. And behind those facades are most modern buildings. And it's only the facades that looks historic, since we wanted to recreate this beautiful atmosphere that we want to
These spaces were all just rebuilt.
Yeah, behind me there is a Koblenz. He lived here in Koblenz in the 16th century and he was a political active knight. Well, as politicians today, he already has had a couple of enemies that didn't agree with his kind of politics. And so these enemies spreaded a lot of rumors about him. And one of these rumors was that he would be one of those robber knights in the woods around Koblenz, just waiting for rich people to steal their gold and valuable things. And every now and then during those robberies, yeah, he would have killed one of those rich aristocrats or merchants. And so they caught him and they brought him to courthouse. And although Johann Luther von Koblenz said the whole time, it wasn't me, I'm innocent, in there it was decided that he is guilty and that he needs to lose his head. And then the public execution took place. And the legend says, when the knight fell down and his head was rolling over the floor, everywhere was blood. But his eyes were still rolling from side to side. And he was sticking out his tongue, like he still wanted to say, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. What shall I say? Around 200 years later, the historians found out, indeed, he was innocent. It was just rumors spread by his enemies. Coincidentally, the old warehouse was under renovation, so they decided to put his face under the clock with the rolling eyes the whole time and with the tongue sticking out every full hour to give him the chance to remind us that he was innocent. Yes. Here he goes. Don't miss it. Have a look at him. So, and another 3 times.
Right?
Here's a cigarette machine. Don't know how much. Oh, maybe 5 or 10. I don't know.
You can pay by credit card.
Yeah,
It
6
says
is.
it right on the cigarette.
Oh. Well, I'm in Cologne, And they got telephone booths. Super billing. 5 cents. They still have public telephones. It's sort of cool in the store, all these animals. Koala bears up there. The little dogs. And an eagle. Got a camel if you want a camel. And Beverly would like the little kitty cats. Back there. Hey. These are kind of cool too. And chicken. The angel. Some interesting ceramics. This is the Cathedral in Cologne, Germany. It's a big one. I'll tell you this, it needs a good power washing.
1,60 kurzer, 50.
This is a big cathedral. See what it looks like inside. Here's the front of the church. I mean, it's a big church. Look at the scaffolding up there. Working on it. Here's the main entrance. Look, hey, they look like they started a power washer, maybe. Let's see what it's like inside. A lot of stained glass windows. Definitely a big church. There's some pictures of Cologne 70 years ago, I assume, right after the war. Here's what the inside of that church, pictures of the inside of the church. Bridges, kids. The homes around it, streets around it. All different kind of bikes all over Europe. But this is the first one I've seen like this. What is it? In the front of it, two little seats in there. You strap the kids in. Strap the kids in the front, and you're on the back pedaling. Gazelle by Kebby. Still looks different. It's Cinderella. I guess that's Cinderella's dress for the ball. Susie, do you want that one for the ball? It's blue. Clothes for humans. I guess there's other kind of clothes. Oh, in the bathroom. It's 50 cents. Pay 50 cents. Go in the bathroom. There's a female bathroom. Same thing. Pay 50 cents. Go in the bathroom. But the sneaky thing is, well, this is my end of my excursion into Cologne. I went by myself and I made it back. Susie's out on a tour of a Jewish type tour. If we couldn't take it, so I figured I'd take the easy way. Here's a boat. A lot of bicycles. Yep, I think this is ours. I'm going to get back on it, lay down and read. But that's the end of Cologne. Now we got an 18-hour boat ride to our next stop. Susie's still out on her tour. But this is the first piece of towel sculpture we've gotten. Again, here's the beds. There's the sculpture. Let's see what it looks like outside. Alright. There's the other side of the river of Cologne. Bridges. Even looks like they got a big Ferris wheel up there. That's the other side of Cologne. Cologne's, I guess, is a big city, but I didn't go in on much. Legs bothered me. Foot's bothered me. Alright, that's it for today.
Of the East Sea called the Salt. When you go through the Salt, you are on the East Sea, and there is a lot of, there used to be a lot of wheat fields, and we don't have wheat in Holland because the rooster on top of it. Today is, for me, that market to be. It's the organic market with organic food and an outlet from all the big brands. From the
There's the houseboats people live on.
You can find a lot of outlet clothing here on the Northern Market. And it's on Monday morning as well. I've heard some people are staying here for a few days. So if you want to have a nice market Monday morning, Northern Church in the hills. Because you have poles as well. Is that the same?
With that one.
That's a pole. Okay. Oh, you can't build houses on those mountains. No. They fall down. Look, I brought you a picture if you want to pass it through and give it back to me at the end of the canal tour, please. Always look at it. And I have to make a new one. It gives you a very good image how it used to, how it is nowadays. Different, isn't it? Is it me having a hot flash or is it warm? It is. It's not just me, is it? I'm going up. I'm going up.
Plants on that one.
And it's still very important to keep the water level in balance. We have specially elected people, water management, to keep to take care of the water level. You know, Amsterdam is in between. We have those beginning 20th century houses over there, 1930s, 1940s. They were very popular. And nowadays they all want to go to Amsterdam North. Amsterdam North used to be, well, the energy was not that good. Maybe something to do with the yellow fields over there. Maybe something done. We were planning to down to the yellow fields at the other side of the canal. And back to the Portuguese. There used to be 2 shipyards, big shipyards, and all the people in Amsterdam North were working for the 2 buses in the little boats on the side. And later on they did it with their own muscles. The Leidse Canal is a little bit looking more rich looking than the Peninsula Canal. Dinkies are not living here anymore. It's more a working area, like bankers, lawyers, investors, and other criminals are all working here. Sorry, I didn't say it. Here on the left are some twin houses coming up. You see the black twin houses? Those are the brother twin houses. And here on my side, on your right, are the sister twin houses behind the tree. Here the first house here on the corner. And twin houses were very common to build. One for yourself to live in and one to rent out. I found it. You can say
on top of the houses
when we are at the end of the Recluse Canal
are beams coming out. They can hook
it's the most romantic canal.
a hoist to it. That's how they hoist stuff up.
Canal boats and dining canal tours without lights and only candles. And you will see the bridges.
You see every hoist has a hoist in the top of it. The I-beam coming out.
Well, Napoleon came along as well. I was studying to be a guide, and in every study book I noticed Napoleon. Napoleon, the king of France, they were having very high hats, and they were higher than he was. They walked to the boat, stand up. Were all made out of wood, and this house. And Napoleon, was the only good thing about Napoleon, creating the house numbers. Now here, when you can peek through the canal boats, the houseboats, you can see the beautiful, typical Amsterdam square where they are taking scenes for movies. And the next boat coming up, you need a little bit. This is really the original water boat. Beautiful, huh? This still exists. Here you can see the square a little bit more to the left. Of the locks. You can see Theatre Carré. That's really the place to be if you want to make it, not only in New York. You can make it in Amsterdam as well. The roof of the Theatre Carré is built by the same man who built the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And here you see the big locks I was talking about. And here in front of us, the Skinny Bridge. There is a story going about the Skinny Bridge. If you're under the bridge in the dark, not well during the day as well. They had quite a lot of money, so they decided to build a bridge. Not themselves, of course, but the bridge was built, and it was a very small bridge, only to walk on it for the pedestrians. not that wide because they didn't want to spend that much money. Here on the right, coming up, the big square building. It's called the Hermitage. It used to be for old men to live. I think very wealthy, rich old men, because the kitchen they had was really beautiful, so big and so much marble and etc. And this building now is used for the Russian exhibitions, like the Silk Route, etc. is inside this building. There's a lot of things going on about the black hair because of the white Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas is black as well.
You can just make out the parts sticking out that they can hook a rope to.
We're now approaching the blue
and hoist stuff up.
To be blue. Those are the dancing houses, and they're leaning to each other because the wood starts to rot beneath the houses. They have told me they can stop the leaning, but they can't bring the house back into the right angle. 1, 2, 3 here. 5, 6 and 7 house. 7th house is the Mulligan's Irish pub. Maybe something to do with it.
Yeah. See, the house is leaning because of the wood pilings underneath are slipping, are deteriorating.
The Beatles were sleeping inside this building when they came to Holland in the 60s. The Beatles slept in the white building here on the left. The Beatles! If you need a bathroom, please go on time there. And if you want to buy some souvenirs, stand in line on time please as well. Because the last time we left at 10:45. We had to wait 15 minutes for people to buy their souvenirs. There was a long line waiting to pay. So please buy your souvenirs if you want to buy them on time and go to the bathroom on time. Then we can leave at 10:30.
And straight ahead, is that the train?
That is the Central Station. From the boat you see the backside.
Ah.
Here's the
train station.
And it is a copy of the Rijksmuseum.
Ah.
They make it just new inside. It's full of shops. We are very close by the boat now.
Central Station. And he said that there's all sorts of shops.
Is the red light over here?
How much that must be leaning out, Susan?
Well, they said they all lean out.
Yeah, but I mean that one's even more leaning out. Oh, yeah.
Where do we pick it up? And there's a Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Look at the bus. Jeez.
When you walk here down.
We're in Amsterdam at night. Those are the boat things, another church. This is downtown Amsterdam. I guess they're getting ready for Christmas. There's a train station ahead of us. With all the people. Downtown Amsterdam at night. Another one of the boats, the train, the Metro in downtown Amsterdam, the church, little tiny cars.
How are you tonight? Felicity, and that you take a lot of good memories back home. And I think we're all very happy to see you again in the near future of one of our wonderful ships. What I can say more on the last evening to you, have a nice stay here in the Netherlands if you stay longer, or maybe walk. A safe flight back home, and all the best for the future.
There's some of the pastry in Amsterdam. A lot of strawberries. Look at some of this stuff. I don't know if you can tell on this house right here, it's leaning out around 2 foot, top from the bottom. And you can see the hook up on the top, and that's how they take heavy stuff up. You know, they'll put a hoist on the top of that and hoist it up. But a lot of homes are like this, where they lean out in front. They're built that way. All right, this is another example of these houses sticking out. I don't know if you can tell. See how much it sticks out, and then all the way up on the top they got the hoist. Another example there of how the house sticks out from plumb, so they could attach, carry stuff up. Down the street, Sunday morning, still a lot of people in this town, but we're by the train stations up here, so it's probably people traveling in, traveling out. We're still in Amsterdam. We're going to go see the red light district tonight. I'm trying to figure out these bikes and why some of them have a big front sprocket. Now I see the wires coming down into it. That's actually how they set up the generator for the light. They all got to have lights on it. Some have those little generators that rub against the tire. That generator's in the sprocket. That's sort of cool. Here comes a whole mob of people. Just to show you what the people of Stockholm, you know, like to be here in the summertime. Not so much heavy clothes on. But a little heavier here than in France. Train must have just let out. Got a whole bunch of people coming in. A lot of Oriental. You can bear marijuana here, but you can't sell it. You know, as if you buy something, you can't sell it to somebody else. You're only allowed to have 4 grams or something. They said this is a big, fancy, expensive shopping store. There's somebody on this square. I don't know if it's political or what. what it is. They're singing now. Along the canal here they got the chargers. You can charge your car, I guess. There's a bridge, one of the canals.
Love experience.
And look who's here. It's Betty. And Susie.
Hi there.
They're disappearing. The girls' red light district is all in there, but you can't take their pictures. They're just sitting in the stupid windows, but they pull up stuff and they bang on the windows if you take their picture. Whoopee. Oh, prices. It's a condom area. Oh, look at the designs. Susie, what design do you want?
Oh my God, they have the Eiffel Tower.
The elephant one.
Wait. They have the Eiffel Tower. I really want to buy one. For free. Hysterical.
It's the Amsterdam Duck Shop. Look at it. Oh, shop full of rubber duckies. Yeah. What are these little vehicles? I don't know what they are, but